Hi guys, it's Becky, and today I am going to make a bracelet because I am doing this Silversilk diet challenge um, that Neil put together in his Facebook group, the Silversilkies group. And basically the diet challenge is every day you get a prompt, you have something to make within that prompt, and it's a challenge in order to get you to use the bits of Silversilk that you've been hoarding or been afraid to use or something like that, which is great for me because today's challenge is to use hollow mesh and to make a beachy themed bracelet with it. And I have this kit that I got from one of the pop-up shops that he did, and it's got hollow mesh in it. And the thing about this is that I have never used hollow mesh yet, so I'm a little intimidated by it, but that's the point of this challenge, is to use it. And it's basically what it says on the tin. It's a hollow tube of knitted wire, and you can put like beads inside of it and string things along with it, and it's just a way of I guess decorating the outsides of whatever your a string of beads that you've got. And that's why there were beads in the kit, and it comes with these little end caps in this kit that will make it look really nice. So I was trying to decide if I want to go ahead and use the beads that came in this kit, which are really pretty, but I don't know that it's screaming beachy to me or not, or if I wanted to use some beads from one of the beach or ocean themed kits that I've gotten that I haven't made more things with. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use this. It's Songs of the Sea, from it's the theme Songs of the Sea from Jesse James Beads. And I'm going to grab a couple of items from here and some beads from in here, and we're going to use those together with the hollow mesh, and we're going to make like a multi-strand bracelet. So one of the strands will be the hollow mesh with some of these beads in here, and I think I want these blue ones because it will be a little more oceany with these. So we'll get these out. And I'm not sure if I'm going to need beads between them. I think just these beads alone will be long enough within this for me to reach bracelet length. So we'll see if I need to bring out more beads. But then also we've got this leather cord, and the kit came with a couple of fold over ends for those, so I might do just cord to go with it as one of the strands. And then we've got this like twine. I was thinking of, I don't know if I want to do like a macrame thing with these ceramic beads because they've got a hole that will fit on this, or if I just want to keep it maybe simpler and just do like knotted knots between these beads. I think I'm going to do knots. I'm going to do some knotting. So I'm going to pull out these ceramic beads, and we'll get those in a little row, and that'll be part of it. And I think that'll be good beachiness, beachy vibes, ocean themed for what we're gonna do. All right, so let's get this over here on this side. I'm going to save cutting the leather cord until after I've made this is going to be the first part, and that's what I'm going to judge my length for the rest of my bits and for the rest of my things that I'm doing. So I'm going to put these beads over here on the side. I'm going to put the leather over here on the side, and we're going to figure out how to string this and how to do it. I think I might need some rings too. Let me see if I've got some closed rings that I can connect it to. I'm going to use some other stuff for that. Hold on. What do I have in here? I have way too many of these. Like, it's all so nicely nicely organized within my boxes, but then I've got too many boxes. I can't find it. Aha, there you go. Because I got some closed rings that were this copper in the last bargain bead box, and I think I'd like to use some of these for connection points. Ooh, maybe toggle clasp? Like, no, that's way too big of a toggle clasp. Okay, I'll figure out a different way, toggling type of toggle clasp. I'm gonna grab a jump ring though, because that might work out really well. Okay, so some of these closed links, loops, so that we can attach our each end of our things. And these beads would also give me a nice beachy vibe, I think, with this. Like it all kind of goes together. But I'm gonna go with this from the JJB, the Magical Mystery Bead box. It was last month's box. Is it the month before? I don't know. It's the one before the one that I most recently unboxed. And I made like a necklace with it, but I didn't get around to making more. And I always meant to, because I love this. Okay, so this will probably, let me see, that will probably be long enough like that. All right, so I'm gonna pick some thread or some stringing material, and I was trying to think of colors that would go with this color scheme. I've got this turquoise color that would look really good with these, but also this fluorite color would, or I've got the metallics copper color, and these are all soft flex medium beading wire. So I'm trying to decide which one is gonna maybe turquoise. Let's go with turquoise. All right. And again, I don't know how to do the hollow mesh, like specifically. So because I've never used it before. So this is new for me, and I'm gonna figure it out as I'm going. And I hope you enjoy doing this with me. So we'll get these beads, I guess, strung first, and then we'll put the hollow mesh on it. I think that's how you do it. I hope that's how you do it, because I think it might be more awkward to get the strand through it when they're in the hollow mesh and you can't like maneuver it. But also, let me cut off the length of it that I want to use. This board, I've marked the minimum length for a bracelet for me. I'm just gonna stretch it out a little bit, because I mean, we're gonna have clasps, and use my flush cutters to cut that. Oof. All right, well, that could be the closed, or the more closey end, and this could be the end that we put our things through. I'm just gonna widen that up a little bit. This is a paintbrush. Just sticking this on here. All right. Okay, let's string some beads. Let me move this out of the way. And let's just get these suckers on here. And hopefully they all fit. And I'm just having like narrow end to narrow end and then fat end to fat end, because I don't know how much of this shape will bleed through when I've got the mesh around it, but it'll give you a little wavy echoes maybe. Here we go, we're being oceany. Okay. Now, let's start sliding this through, getting these beads in here. I really hope I'm doing this right. Hold on. Maybe I need to go through, whoop, like this, so that this doesn't poke through the other end. Okay. And I don't know if just pushing them is the way to go, but I guess it's kind of getting on there. Like I said, I haven't used this before, and I've been, let me be honest, a little afraid to use it because it has a learning curve with it. But you know, that's why I'm going forward with this diet plan. Let me get this all the way through the soft flex, because I can always adjust it after it goes all the way through. And there it is going through on the other side. And yeah, I'm real glad I bent it over so that it wasn't trying to come out of this hollow mesh on the other side. All right, let's, whoop. It tightens up when you pull on it, like those finger trap puzzles that you used to get when you would go to like your elementary school counselor for your mandatory counseling for being a weirdo. Was that just me? I hope that wasn't just me. Oh, it's almost to the end. Come on, friend. Okay, and I'm trying to grip like all of it at once to kind of shift it along. Maybe I should have picked smaller beads. I don't know, but I really like the blue inside the copper of this. It's so pretty. So I've inched that along. Okay, now I've got a third one in there, or I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. All right, and this is almost through to the end. So let's just poke it a little bit more. See if we can't get this, pull this through here. I have a little bit of wire here. I'm going to poke this into here and pull this. All right, now that's through. Oh boy, this is a little bit fiddly. That's fine, because we're learning stuff today. I'm learning stuff today. Okay. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is like take one end and pull on it because it'll collapse down the tube around my beads, which might be really nice to do once I've got all my beads in here. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, if that's how you're supposed to use it. Like I said, I haven't used it yet. It's been one of those things that I've been a little hesitant to do, so I'm trying to inch it along a little bit at a time. There's another one in there. Okay, so start up here at the top. I'm glad I chose some kind of longer beads, and I'm just scooching, like inching the mesh down. Okay, so we're almost to the end. Let's scooch the mesh down these two, and then that little bunch up, you can see like the bunch up right here. See, it's bunched up there. I'm just gonna bunch it over to the next couple of beads. Yes, yes, yes. I figured out how to do this. I'm so happy. All right, and then that's the last little group of beads to put in here. Let's get this close to the end, but not all the way to the end, because we're gonna need some room for our bead caps over these. Oop. I think this might be me. Kind of use this to push the bottom of my bead and hold it in place while I scooch my flat mesh over it. Oop. There we go. So like, does anybody else's house get just invaded by flies in the summertime when you're like opening and closing your door all the time to let your dogs in and out? It's crazy. I've killed so many flies, so many. All right, so this is going to be one of my strands in a multi-strand bracelet. All right. All right. Perfect. Oh, here we go. Let's get this end done. So I've got my beading wire through here, and I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm going to smush this so that it just doesn't go anywhere. The hollow mesh, I'm smushing it around my beading wire. And I am going to make sure that this is flexible and then do the same thing around this end. And hopefully that just locks these beads in place with this hollow mesh around it. I love this. Look at that. All right. I'm so happy I did this. Now let's make sure I've got enough wire on this end to be able to crimp it. I'm just gonna shove that in there like that. Now I'm gonna attach it to one of my rings. And once I got this length established, then we'll figure out length for my leather and for the cord that I'm gonna be using. Let me cut off my excess beading wire. Oh, did I grab the been used too long cutters? I might have. That's okay. Let me put this away. Beachy themes. Yeah, everything has been beachy themes. I love it. Love it. It's been great. I made a lot of, this is a beachy theme bracelet that I made with, there was a beading like party thing between Soft Flex and Jesse James beads. And that was one of the projects in the beading party. All right. That's gonna be pretty great. That's gonna be pretty great. All right. So I'm going to be using some magic crimpers and 2x2 crimp tubes. And I'm choosing a copper color to match the findings and the color of this wire. Also, these are copper. I guess we're going with copper, except for these gold fold over crimp ends, which is great and fine because I don't have any copper ones. So we will live with it. So let's just get this attached. And I thought about adding like a charm or something, but I think I'd like to just keep it, I know I'm saying keep it simple because this is what we're doing, but it's not that simple if I'm making it fancy with this hollow mesh and doing 3 different strands. Come on, crimp tube. Just take it. Oh boy. Sometimes the copper one specifically can be a little bit narrow on the inside. It's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and crimp it here because I can move the wire along on the other side. I'm just making sure it's not crossing over itself. Is it? There we go. And I like using this because then I don't have to use crimp covers, because this smushes all of the sharp ends of the crimp into a little ball that is nice and smooth and it won't rub on anything. All right, let's cut off the end of this wire. Now we're going to scooch all of those over there. And I'm going to crimp this other bit. There we go. That one looks good. They just have thicker walls. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that the It's going to hold on a little bit better, I guess, to our wire. Okay. These rings are going to be my connection point for my other strands too. So let me get this tightened up. It doesn't really matter that they match. They're going to be on opposite ends. I just sometimes like it when things look nice, you know? Perfect. All right, so now that is with these loops exactly the minimum length for a bracelet. So once I add a closure, it's going to be exactly my bracelet length that I like. Maybe I'll do a bigger or wider closure, or do a few extender chains links so that it can be looser or tighter depending on how I want to use it. And now I'm going to attach one of these foldovers to the end of this leather. And I'm going to do that before I cut the leather so that I can attach this to this ring and figure out exactly how long I want to cut it. So I'm going to just lay this leather in here. I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers and I'm going to fold over one edge. And then fold over the other edge. Come on, buddy. Stay inside of here. Okay, I'm just giving a little tug. Make sure it's nice and secure. This is a little bit scratchy right here. So I'm just gonna grab my, there's a little burr. I'm just gonna file away the burr so that it doesn't rub my skin and scratch it up. There we go. So that end is attached. Let's attach that to my ring. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I've got a lobster clasp and some more jump rings. So let's use this jump ring to attach the leather cord to my closed loop, my little ring on one end. Then I can compare the length of the leather cord with the length of my hollow mesh. Figure out where I can cut it. All right, so it looks like the end of the leather cord sits about even with the end of this where it's attached here. So if I want it to be the same length as that, I'm going to need to cut my other end right here. So let's just grab these cut leather too, not just wire. All right. So these are going to be the first 2 strands on my multi-strand bracelet. And then the other one will be a knotted strand with some ceramic beads involved. All right, let me get this cord end attached. Sticking in my cord. And we're just folding it over with our pliers. And folding over the other end with our pliers. Like, a lot of times these ends will overlap. There we go. I'm just squishing them flat. You know, let me squish this one flat too, because I'm gonna feel better if it's the same on both ends. There we go. All right, now I can attach this end, and it looks like it's going to be just a little bit short, but that's okay because that'll give me a little bit of movement. That'll make this a bit looser, and it'll dangle a little bit more. So, jump ring. And I'm just using these magic crimpers to hold the jump ring while I twist it. That's all I'm using them for this. They're just handy. I could use another pair of pliers or them since they're right here. All right. Okay. And 2 strands. All right, now that that is done, I am going to need to figure out what I'm doing with this cord and these ceramic beads. So let's get that figured out. So I think I want to do barrel knots on either side of my ceramic beads because it's nautical and decorative, and it'll help take up some space on this because these by themselves with little knots in between them are not going to take up as much room on here, and that way it won't just be like a long piece of string with some beads on it. But I'm going to give myself a bunch of room here on the end so I can cut off any excess that I have over here, but I want to make sure that I have plenty of room for attaching it and for making a barrel knot. So let me see. I think, let me see if I've got something that I can wrap this around. Yeah, maybe this. There we go. So I got a little loop up here at the top, and then I'm gonna wrap this. 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4 times. That'll be fun. And now I'm gonna pull that out of there, stick my pliers in, and grab. Oop, where are you going? Where you going, buddy? Grab the end of that cord, pull it through. All right, so I want to be able to give myself room for more knots and things over there. And then now that it's there, let's keep it round. And there's my barrel knot. All right, I'll do it again on the other side in case you missed it. All right, so now let's start stringing these beads and doing a knotting with them. Well, the cord is all frayed at the end, so I'm gonna use some better pliers and just cut it. And I'm just putting some spit on the end of my fingers, kind of rolling this to keep it from fraying. I don't know if that's kosher. I'm the only one who's going to be wearing this, so I don't care if there's spit on it. All right, come on. Now I've got, I had it on there, and then my bead just slid right off. Oh boy. I really hope you guys are having as great a time with this as I am. That wasn't as sarcastic as it probably sounded. I'm gonna grab some wire, kind of push this cord through if I can, because I know it will fit. Like, I literally just put this on here. It's like we are cutting off this frayed end again. I've seen some people use like a little bit of glue to kind of form the end of this into a little bit of a needle, and I may have to do that. Oh, got my thing in. All right, so now we've got it up here against the barrel knot. I'm going to tie a knot this way. Whoop. Don't tighten it. And push it up against this, just using my fingers to tighten it here. You could also use like a knotting beading awl or a knotting tool in order to do it. And now I've got my first bead on there. Let's get my second one. This is gonna take a while. Are you sitting comfortably? Will this fit in here to pull all of these strands out? Just the two that are coming out. Maybe I need to do the glue trick. I don't use cord that much. I don't do macrameing. I have a bunch of macrame kits, but I don't use them. Actually, maybe my tweezer nose pliers would be better for this. Stick this in here. Go all the way through. Nope. All right, I'm gonna go get some glue. All right, so I've got a little bit of parchment paper to put my glue on. And I've got some E6000 glue. And I'm gonna open this up. I do not use this that often, which, like, why do I have a giant tube of it if I don't use it that often? But I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the parchment paper. Close that up. And I'm going to take the end of my cord that I've been having so much trouble with, and I think you just drag it through here. Maybe you've got to pinch it. Just to make it harder and smaller. Okay. Let's see if that will work. I'm just got this so I can throw it away and not have it get all over everything. And I think that's fairly dry. Woo! Look at that. I should have done this from the very beginning. Like I said, I hardly ever do like anything like this. So I've got another bead on here, and I'm going to push that knot close to the other. There you go. Let's give a little bit of space to jangle around there. All right. Next bead. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm figuring out how to do this. Like that, and one more of the large beads. Go. I'm definitely doing this from now on with the glue on the end. That just made it so much easier. And so I got that. And we're just doing knotting. Just getting a little knotty with it. All right, last ceramic bead. And I will go ahead and knot it. No, I want to do a barrel knot on this end too. All right, so where's my, here we go. One, two, three, four, and now let's get this guy into the barrel. Grab our go, and I need to slide this okay, how do I slide it that way? No, because then there we go. There we go. Trying to get it right next to the bead. And I'm just going real slow with tightening it and rotating these loops so that it tightens right next to it. So we have it echoed on the other side. All right, now we're gonna have a little bit of bare bits on each end, but I should be able to tie a knot on one end versus the other. Maybe even do another barrel knot for that. What do you guys think? Yeah, let's try it. Let's see. Let's see how that works. Will it work? I don't know. Maybe. Hold on. Will that actually work? I don't know if that will work or not. Maybe instead I'll do like nope, that's gonna be too much. I'm gonna want to have just one strand of these on here and not both strands. So maybe, I mean, you could still use a barrel knot to tie things to things, right? I don't see why not. It's like instead of the loop attaching to that, it's gonna just attach to this. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. Where's my, let's use this one instead because I think it fell on the floor. All right. Let's just do like 2 of these, right? We'll do 2 of them. Oh, I don't want this to go too far. I want this to be at a specific place. Yes, perfect. All right. I want this to stay where it is, so I'm going to tighten this. All right. Now I'm going to tighten this up a little bit with this knot. I'm going to cut this off right there. And I'm going to grab some of that glue, and I'm just going to glue this that little bit. Because I want to make sure that knot's gonna come, not gonna come undone. Not, get it? Get it? All right, got myself a little glob of glue. That should hold it. This is very mixed media. But it's also very oceany. All right. Now I'm going to try to do that on the other side and have it be approximately the same distance as this one, although these two are kind of like different lengths-ish. But when it's like on your wrist, it's not going to be that noticeable. It'll be more like that. All right. Okay, so it's between these two on that side. So I want it to be between those two on this side. So here goes my other end of my thread. Yeah, it's about right. All right, let's get this in here, and I'm just doing 2 loops, right? So that's 1, 2, and I am holding this in front of the end of my loop. While I take that out, stick these in, and grab my rope, grab my cord. All right. Okay, I'm just giving this a tug so that it's at the right place on here. That's perfect. And I'm gonna pull this taut. Up against here. I have no idea if this will be a secure knot or not, but I'm hoping it will. All right. Like it. Let's cut this off and glue it. Hopefully that glue hasn't dried yet on that toothpick. If it has, I can get more. Ooh, hey, I found some gooey bits. Found some gooey bits. All right. I'm almost done, I'm almost done, I'm almost done. Oof. Alright. Let me attach my lobster clasp to one end of this. Come on. If you liked it, then you should have put a jump ring on it. There we go. Jump ring, lobster clasp. All right, let me see how long this is going to ultimately be. Went through all that trouble of making sure that these were in the right places. Oh, this is not a secure knot. All right, let's do a different kind of knot. Let's just tie a knot like this. But then I'm going to put this why? I still have plenty of other cord if I need to, but I'm gonna try a different knot. I'm just gonna tie it on like this. And then do another one right next to it, like that. Push these up that way. And for now, I'm gonna leave this little bit out. Yeah, I'm leaving it. I like it. I'm gonna need to do the same thing on the other side though. Snugging right up to it. And then up and around and down through. It's like a little pretzel. Whew. All right. Did sort of shorten my cord bits. But it will still fit around a wrist. With some extra chain. All right, so let's make some chain. Actually, let's make this a little bit longer on this side. Not much, just a little bit. this side. I told you guys I've been getting a lot of flies in my house because of when the dogs come in and out. They come in and out all the time. And I actually wrote a song for my dog Natalie called "You're Letting All the Flies In." Because when she wants to go outside, she just stands there sniffing and she doesn't actually go outside. So while I'm trying to do this, I've got flies buzzing around my head. So if I'm like shaking and like twitching, it's because I'm trying not to have flies crawling on my face while I'm doing this. If anyone knows a way to keep flies from flying into your house when you open and close the door, let me know, because I am not here for it. All right, I like this. I am gonna need to build myself a little extender chain with some of these jump rings, because I don't know that that will close at the length that it is right now. But fortunately, I've got plenty of these big links that I can do this with, and I think it'll look great. And you know what? I am gonna grab one of these little pebbly bits and make myself a little dangle with it so that it will dangle nicely. So I'm gonna just grab some craft wire, slide this nugget on here, and I'm just going to bend my wire towards itself like that. So it's crossing. Let's get a little closer so you can see. I'm making my dangle. Cut it off the spool so it's easier to work with. Now I'm going to bend this up like that and wrap just a couple wraps. And this is okay if it's just a little bit messy. Just trying to grip this while I move the wrap around. Okay, so I've attached my little gemstone dangle. Now I need to make a loop. Now that I've got myself a loop, I'll wrap the rest of this dangle. There you go. So I've got a little gemstone nugget dangle for my extender chain. Alright. Make sure these are flat together. These bits. Alright. I'm going to use this to attach the dangle to the first link. Okay, and now I've got another link that I'm just going to make sure it is good and closed. All right, that is good and closed. Now we're going to open a link and put both of these closed links on it, and then close this link. Make sure that that stays nice and closed. There we go. I've got 3 links. Now I'm going to close this, make sure it's nice and closed. Pretty close. All right. And now I'm going to open up this link and attach this closed link and this chain. I'm closing it up. Closing that up. Make sure those are together. They are not yet. All right. All right, that is closed. Now I've got my chain that I can attach to the other end of my bracelet. All right. So now I have my beachy bracelet with my knotted ropes and my bits of sea glass cotton netting and some leather, and I think I like it. This took a while to do. It's my first time using the hollow mesh. I'm gonna need to figure out a way to end these cords, or I could just leave them. That would work. But now I've got myself a beachy bracelet. I like to have a little dangle on the ends of these chains so that when I put these on, I can hold it with my finger. Eek. And it allows me to put that on there like that. My beachy bracelet. 3 strands. All right, I'm actually quite happy with this. Thanks for hanging out with me while I was figuring out what to do with this design and how to use this stuff. There's a lot of experimentation I was doing today. If you guys can figure out a way for me to tie these ends off in a more secure way, like if you know a knot that would work better than what I'm using, and how to finish off those ends of my cord better, that would be great. Oof. There we go. It's always awkward when you're taking your bracelet off by yourself. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.